It's about the 6th week of my first pastorate when it suddenly dawned on me that now I have a whole house that I can decorate. And so I immediately resolved that I was going to put an image of each of the mysteries of the Most Holy Rosary throughout my home. And so I bought the first one, and I suppose it's sad to realize that I was so deeply moved and fell so deeply in love with the first image that I bought that I have not yet bought the second one. I have spent, thousands of hours contemplating the image of a young woman sitting on her bed and looking up into a very, very bright light. And I think that the feature of the image that is so moving to me, that has inspired such great awe and wonder and love in me, is the expression on her face. It's a very complex expression. It captures anxiety. It captures wonder. It captures confusion. It captures doubt. It captures even not an inconsiderable amount of anger. Think about her first reaction to what the angel said to her. And her response, very understandably, was, "What precisely are you accusing me of?" Because he was asserting that she was with child when she knew that this was simply not possible. So we shouldn't be surprised that the natural human reaction to that assertion was shock and anger. But here is what is so noteworthy for you and I. Because we know, when we consider our own daily lives, that we are not short on any of those things. Every day we struggle with confusion. Anybody really understand what's going on in the world today and why? It is no mystery that we would experience doubt. I myself, as I mentioned at the beginning of Mass, still have lingering elements in my life where I wonder, is God really as good and as powerful and as loving as he claims to be? It's no great mystery of the presence of anger in our lives. We live in a time when so many people have figured out how to profit from our anger, because they realize that nothing compels us to click like and subscribe more than having anger provoked in us. And daily they are at that very business of provoking us to outrage, provoking us to anger, to provoking us to the false judgment of others. And they do it because they make a lot of money from doing it. But here is where the example and the life and the Immaculate Heart of the Blessed Virgin Mary should resolve all of these things for us. Being conceived without sin did not mean that her life was anxiety-free, or doubt-free, or struggle-free, or even anger-free. When we consider all of the events of her life, we realize that she experienced all of these things to an extent that would have overwhelmed you or I a long time ago. And what makes Mary a unique creature is that no matter how intense any of these things became in her life, she never allowed them to undermine her confidence in the goodness and the power of God. Throughout her life, she manifests the kind of faith that while she never denied the reality of what was going on around her, and there is no evidence that she ever denied, again, the very legitimate and understandable human reaction that she experienced to the things that were going on around her, she never lost confidence that in and through all things, God will bring about a greater good. And so that is our lesson, and let that be our daily exercise. To begin each day saying, Lord, I don't know what the world is going to bring me today. And Lord, I don't know how I'm going to feel about what the world brings me today. All I know, Lord, is that whatever the world brings me, and however I feel about what the world brings me, I want to respond in a way that brings honor and glory to you. Here's the challenging part for us, is accepting the truth that we will never control the events of the world. We have all kinds of ways of deluding ourselves into believing that we can control the events of the world, but the reality is that we do not and will never have that power. Perhaps even more significantly, we must recognize that we will never control how we feel about the events of the world. Think of it this way. A feeling is never an act of will. We don't have one side of our brain that wills us to feel a particular way, and then another part of our brain that actually feels that. Again, our anxiety or our anger is never an act of will, but may be a very understandable and human reaction to a particular set of events. Do not fall into the trap of believing that you can control your emotions. You cannot. In fact, attempting to control your emotions not only does not bring them under control, it makes them more intense. And the longer we continue down that path, the more prone we are to boiling over and responding to that emotion in a way that fails to bring honor and glory to God. That is our true vulnerability. Our real power lies in the fact that we always have 100% control over how we respond. And that is the redeeming grace of the state that we are in. That there is no event of the world and there is no emotion that can be experienced in conjunction with what happens in the world that is so powerful that it takes away our agency, that it takes away our ability to choose how to respond. And that's why we say, Lord, I don't know what the world is going to bring me, and I don't know how I'm going to feel about what the world brings me. But Lord, I want to respond in a way that brings honor and glory to you, because, Lord, that is where my true power lies. Another way to respond to this and to pray for this is to go to Mary and to say to her, "Good Mother, my heart is too small and too broken to do what your Son asks me to do. And so I ask you, good Mother, take my small and inadequate heart and give me your immaculate heart. And as I go forward into this day, let me live and love with that." She will grant that petition. And in the course of time, your life will change because your heart has changed. Again, not saying that you will never experience anxiety again, or you will never experience regret again, or you will never experience frustration again, or you will never experience anger again. But with the Immaculate Heart of Mary, you will find yourself more inclined to respond to the things of the world and to respond to your own emotions in a way that brings honor and glory to God. And day by day by day, as you see your life and as you see your own heart begin to change, your integrity, your dignity, your serenity will be restored. And because all of these things are being restored within you, you will find new hope in the world. Hope meaning not just that you have something to look forward to, but you recognize that what God has in store for you is something that is worth everything that you have and are right now in order to attain.